Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Harnett County Board of Elections meeting. 5:00 p.m. We can start with a moment of silence, followed by the pledge.
Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're now open for public comment and prayer.
We'll shorten this.
I know. You came up with this.
Public comment periods will be held at the beginning of the scheduled meeting and limited to a maximum of 30 minutes. Each person desiring to speak shall clearly state their name and will have a maximum of 3 minutes to make his or her remarks. A speaker may not speak more than once during the same public comment period, and unused time may not be yielded to another speaker. To avoid repetition, groups of individuals who expect to have the same or similar comments are encouraged to select a spokesperson to speak on their behalf. Public comment is not intended to require the board to answer any impromptu questions. The board should refrain from engaging in dialogue except to the extent necessary to clarify the speaker's position. The board shall entertain questions from the audience, and discussion between speakers and members of the audience shall be prohibited. Speakers shall maintain proper decorum and shall make their comments in a civil manner. Personal attacks and use of obscene and profane language are prohibited. Speaker comments should be limited to subjects that are within the board's jurisdiction. Action items brought up during the comment period will be at the discretion of the board.
Okay.
Rebecca Brock, greetings board and administrators. We're at the advent of the 2024 presidential election, and it's a big one, and it's added on to it is with our disaster with our colleagues out in the western part of the state, which, oh, my heart breaks, as I'm sure all of yours do too. So I just wanted to come before the board and state that our party is working very hard to produce a very fair and, how do you want to just say, a low-level election on the outside. And I just want to say thank you for the 5 of you who are going to work really, really hard this election. I just can't imagine how hard you're going to have to go through the work that you're going to do. So I just want to say right up front, thank you. My concerns are just things that we've discussed in the past, which are the 50-foot enclosures, making sure those are clearly marked, making sure there's enough poll voting signs, bring your ID, and we got through the primary, I thought, pretty good with the workers knowing all the different types of IDs that are available for valid IDs. More have been added, so I'm just a little concerned. I don't have any grounding for that. Please know, no one has, this is just my own concern because there are so many. But that's it. Eat your Wheaties, the 5 of you, and your team. You're 5 too. It'll be a rock'em sock'em time. Thank you for working it.
Yes.
Thank you. Any other comments?
So the next item on the agenda are the minutes.
Well, because we've had issues with that 50-foot barrier. What do we have?
So right now, we have, of course, the signage, and then we have the chalk. We got a neon green chalk now that's brighter than the white and pink, yeah. So it stands out more. And then during training, we definitely stress that, especially to our judges, but also to the curbside people who are working outside, who are going to see those violations and can report that to the judges quicker.
In the training, I saw that the 10-foot barrier, I was not aware of that, 10-foot barrier from a voter, no electioneer can get within 10 feet of a voter when they are
In
voting.
curbside.
Right, curbside.
Yeah.
And the porta potties, because I know.
So, the state board changed their stance on the bathroom, so it's the same as it was during the primary, where if an outside electioneer wants to use the bathroom and they don't have to enter the actual voting enclosure, they can utilize the bathrooms. So for this election, as well as primary, we will have porta potties at Western Harnett and at Johnsonville, because those are the two locations they have to enter into the enclosure area to utilize the bathroom. All the other places have bathrooms outside or just as you go into the door.
So Johnsonville and.
Western Harnett, yeah.
And people are gonna, the other ones kind of like lease it to make sure.
So everybody has before them a copy of the minutes. These are the same that were emailed. If you need a minute to review them, you may, but once everybody's satisfied, a motion to approve will be in order.
Move to approve.
I second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And this is the copy we signed.
Absentee list. Okay, yeah. They have a new list to speak, I guess. I'm on the right one here.
Okay. So the first item of discussion was basically just election updates. So prior to every absentee meeting, especially, we're going to have a section for any updates that come up. I do want to let everybody know that we did our logic and accuracy testing of the voting equipment yesterday, September 30th, and all machines passed the testing. So now we'll have our mock election on Thursday, where we upload the data to the state to verify that the recording equipment is working, and then we will be done and ready for early voting. The only other thing that I was just going to update you guys on is that so far we have sent out 2,627 absentee ballots. So we got a really good turnout on the absentees so far. Are there any questions before we go into the next topic?
What's the number of new registration, registration?
I don't have that number on me today. I'll send it out Friday.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't send it out last Friday because of us being in training all week. So I'll send out an update this Friday with the registration numbers and the new
thank you.
changes, updates, and new registrations. Alright, so the next topic I just kind of wanted to touch on a little bit was list maintenance. I know there were some questions last time, especially concerning like non-citizens. And we did have a few other people ask questions about list maintenance and, cleaning up the rolls. One thing we do not do is purge the rolls. So list maintenance is done every month to maintain that our rolls are clean and up to date. Shannon Cole actually does the list maintenance for our office. So we have some handouts for you that she printed, but I'll let her briefly describe or explain the list maintenance process.
Okay, so for list maintenance for felons, we get them from the state. Right now, we're doing them every day, along with deceased and duplicates for any other counties that are here, and cancellations for any other state. Normally, it's done weekly, but since we're into the absentee time, and then as we get into the one-stop time, we're doing them daily. As for, I think the concern was non-citizens, we brought in the information for you that explains the new process. On the first handout, that's page 4 and 5. So it basically tells you that the state will get them. Once they receive them, if there's somebody on there. Right now, the state is sending out the letters come the 1st of January. Once they get the information, if there's anybody here in the county, we will then get the information and send out the letters, and it has to be by certified mail to the person. Giving them the opportunity to say, yes, I am a citizen, because some may have become a citizen within a certain amount of time, or to say they're not. Once we get that letter back, we will then send it up to the state.
And also in that, the state board did do a press release on September 26th, which indicated that there were 9 non-citizens identified through that process, and that they're in the process, like you said, of verifying that, but there was only a total of 9 in the whole state.
In the whole state, yes.
And that was including what dates? In that, what period of time, was that from July 1st to today's date? Was it from January 1st when the bill went into effect? Or
So when
was it earlier than any of those dates?
The state's records, actually, I think they go back as far as they can go back to see if there's anybody that's completely registered that is a non-citizen that may have been on the rolls. But of course, that was then, they do it like we're doing it every single day. So as soon as they get that list from the register of deeds or the county clerk, of course, then it goes into effect.
Did we get anything from the state from July 1st to today's date?
Of citizens that are registered here, no, we do not have any on that list.
Well, without disclosing, I've found out that there were identified people and that were sent to the state. And that's why I asked if we had any notification from the state, because I brought up last month that I think it's much more efficient if they would give it to us here. And my concern was if it goes to the state and as has happened now, we don't get the notification, what are we doing? I'm not criticizing you, I'm just saying the procedure, I think, should be adjusted. How do we handle that? Do we attach or discuss it with the state board and try and refine it? I'm very concerned because they only went back to July the 1st. And of course, then I believe the number that was referenced was from July the 1st. And my concern is, how about before then? How about back to 2020? All of those names were not checked. What are we going to do about that? Our hands are tied, and what happens, happens? It's just a rhetorical question.
Okay, so what we're doing is following the law. So let's begin there. So if you want to change something with the state, of course, you can't change it with us. We have to do what the law tells us to do. We can't just call the state and say, we don't think your process is working for Harnett County, therefore we want you to just send us the list. That's not what we can do. I don't know when that list went back towards, but I do know that they did check previously. If somebody was to call in, say, hey, this person wasn't a citizen, they would go back and check. With that being said, if you have names that you want to check, you can probably send it up to the state. But you also have to realize that those people could have become citizens within a certain amount of time. And does those names actually reflect that person? Because depending on the name, it could be a common name, and it could not be the same person.
I'm referring specifically to the people who said they were non-citizens and excused from jury duty. That's what the specific portion of the law I'm concerned about, not Joe Dokes out on the street.
And well, I don't mean just Joe Dokes out on the streets, but when you're looking at certain names, it could be a name that is not in America that may be a common name, but somewhere else. You have to look at that. Also, you have to look at that if they say they're a non-citizen and they send that form in, once the state contacts them, they can show that they are citizens, that maybe they just wanted to get out of jury duty.
Well, yeah, I can understand those specific instances. I'm just concerned with the overall picture. There's a whole area of people that we're not taking advantage of. And I'll take it up with the state myself then.
Yeah, because if you have those names, send them to the state.
I don't have the names. They haven't been given to us. And the names of the jurors that were non-eligible between 2020 and July 1st, 2024. Where are those?
So where did you get that information from?
From the county clerk.
Our county.
Yes, ma'am.
But if we
So
want,
they didn't give you a listing of who they were talking about?
They said that it's a confidential record because it includes the names, addresses, etc. And she'll see if she can call that just for the names, and then she'll give that to us. But I was just identifying the issue.
but this is a general statute, so it would have to come through the legislature, right? It's not a board interpretation, not the state board interpretation, it's a general statute, is that right?
Correct.
We'd have to talk to our legislature.
And you have that also in your records, in your folder. The general statute for that is on the second page, not the one that was front and back.
Folks, I'm not denying that that our hands are tied, and I'm concerned that the legislature overlooked that whole area. They slow walked the effective date because that should have been January 1st of 2024. Then it was changed to July 1st, 2024. That cut out a half a year of people that may have been identified as non-citizens and excused from jury duty. And then I thought to myself, well, look, how about before? How about back to the time that the state board submitted that investigation to the Eastern District Court, identifying over 700 people? I mean, it's there. How do we identify it? How do we get that information so we can make sure that just citizens are voting?
So legally, the clerk can't give you the information, right?
We
They
do
gotta
what?
send it to the
Yeah,
state.
it's not a public
They,
record.
yeah, they send that to the
Right.
state, and the state also has other databases they check.
That we don't.
Yeah, the state has other databases they check citizenship as well. The juror list is a new list that they're adding to the list of other list maintenance that we do. So it's not that non-citizens were never checked in the past, it's that now we have an additional list to check.
So you're kind of cross-referencing.
Yeah,
But of course, it's only being checked from the effective date of this specific legislation, which is July 1st, 2024 forward.
Right, but we can't solve that today.
Oh, I sure know that. It's just a concern that I have.
Right,
yeah,
okay, moving on.
yes.
I have a question that's been asked of me, and I thought I answered, but I may not, but I want you to clarify. In the last couple of months or weeks, people have asked me about, there were two people who were concerned about absentee voting, but they have in fact died now.
Mhm.
So if they voted absentee on November 5th, they were deceased, that vote will not count. Is that right?
It will not count. So what we do is before every absentee meeting, we verify through the absentees we received, have any of them been removed for that reason, and then we would not count it. If we find out after the absentee meeting that the ballot was counted and should not have, then the board would issue a challenge to that voter and remove the ballot.
Would you check period?
Yes, we do that check.
Religiously?
Correct. Yeah. And so that way, and again, absentees as well as the early voting number ballots are all numbered so they are retrievable.
Anything else?
Everybody good with that? All right, so now what we're going to do is move into our absentee, and just for clarification for the public, anybody watching, during the primary, when we get into the absentee part, we usually cut the camera since we're going to be handling ballots and photo IDs. We don't want anything accidentally recorded or photographed. So, we good? No questions? Ben?
Do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You good, Clay?
Okay.
Are we back on?
All right, so absentee is completed.
Yeah.
I did have on the agenda closed session if needed, but there's no need for closed session. Is there any questions before we dismiss?
No, I have
you go ahead.
something to
Okay.
You go.
say. Mr. Bell and Blair and I had the invitation to speak to two church pastor groups on Saturday. And the total of the two groups probably amounted to about 100 people, 90 to 100 people. They were very receptive.
Yes.
They were very attentive. And we basically told them that we're here to reach out to the community and help them understand any of the details, so it's not a complicated thing, and we work for them, and we encourage them to call to ask any questions. We had a 10-page handout that we gave out. I think, did you provide that to the
Yeah, they have.
board? Okay.
Declare.
Yeah. And they went real quick. We probably should have printed more. And we also had a QR code that we distributed, magnetized for the refrigerators, which would take them to the State Board of Elections for procedures. And at the time, I got a couple of questions, and one I had to check the law and follow up on. I talked to the lady this morning, and she was very thankful for the quick response. And I think that it's something that that was a positive event. Anybody have any questions? Hit me with it. Louis?
I don't have any questions, but I'd like to
Go
kind
ahead.
of tell feedback
I have a little.
what this was.
What were the two different groups, what were the names?
This was the Cape,
He'll tell you.
the conference, Free Will Baptist. This was the Dunn area and the Raleigh area, which encompasses churches from Harney County, Wake County, Sampson County, Cumberland County. It's a district for the Southeast North Carolina Free Will Baptist Association. And for those two districts combined, there was all 27 churches represented in the Dunn and the Raleigh area. So it's a huge thing. They do it once every fifth Sunday, Saturday, conduct business. So Bill and I had spoken with the bishop who is over all of the churches. And he directed me to the two elders. And they agreed that we will come on Saturday, because I told them we need about 30 minutes. They were very, they obliged us that, and there was no rush. We knew that we couldn't do it on Sunday because that was our worship. But with these churches, we encouraged them to go back to your congregation, share this information, share the importance of the Board of Elections, because a lot of them, they don't know. They didn't know this, which was kind of the feel. And now instead of we've got 4 more individual churches that's going to want us. And we were fortunate to have Claire with us, and it was a very good event. And the bishop contacted me and told me, "Listen, y'all really did a good thing, did a wonderful thing, something that has been missing." And I also let them know that they're supposed to be watching so that our meetings are televised or video and everything. So it was a good way to start getting out information.
What was the second one? I didn't hear the second.
Excuse me.
The second.
It was the same
Same group.
presentation.
Oh,
Right.
two
Two different
different,
groups.
I got it.
Yeah, because so big they didn't have all in one place. So, but they had everybody in one place on Sunday. This were the different groups and their monies and their business they collected with that group. And one thing that Bill brought up, which I thought was very important, that we continue to do this, not just for the presidential election, because we're gonna get a lot of folks from that anyway. But he explained that the closer government is to you, the more effective it is, the more accessible it is to you, and that all politics is local, and that we will continue to do this throughout the year. And if they have any requests, we welcome all the requests, and to make them, or to get more attention and the functionality of the Board of Election. Most folks don't think we do anything. But it was good. I was excited, and enthusiasm was still right. I can't wait to get in front of somebody else, more people, to tell them what we're doing. Hopefully, we will have Claire, you, if not you, someone from the department, if that's possible. So we're excited about it.
What are the 4 other ones?
What's that now?
The 4 other.
There'll be 4 churches. 3 are in Hart County, and 1 is in Wake County. And also, we did talk about that. Even though we were the Hart County Board of Election, we follow the state Board of Elections. So what will reign true statutorily here will be there also. So good, excited. And I'll take any questions.
You want to tell us about your event that you attended?
Me and Kelly.
You count.
Yeah, so we've had a few events that we've come up, and I've given you guys some of those dates and information. And so Saturday afternoon, we did go to another church. I forget the
I
name.
think it's Lillington Grove.
Lillington Grove, thank you.
Mm.
And so they had an event out there where we had our information as well as our photo ID machine. They also had the health department. They did flu shots and things. And so we did about 10 to 15 IDs.
Yeah.
We checked a lot of registration, so it was a good event too.
So it's working. Also, I'm going to give Eric, talk about the Daily Digest, Daily Digest in the Daily Record. Some topics that we can put a blur, such as photo IDs will be available Monday through Friday at the Board of Election. That's something that can run all the time. That costs of anything, and it's a good way of getting that out. I think the circulation is it 2 or 3 times a week now? It used to be daily.
Twice a week, Tuesdays and
Fridays.
Fridays.
Friday, okay.
And we did submit our meeting stuff to them, so
Yeah.
Daily Digest should show our meetings each week on them now too.
Wow.
So they have that information.
Yeah, we wanted to rotate every week, just have something in there, every week have something in there to bring more, get information out that this is, we're public servants, and this is how we do. So,
I'd like to thank Kelly because this is awesome.
oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Kelly, and of course, a special thanks to Claire, the director, who rolled the sleeve and got right there with us, and had all that. They're responsible for creating the brochure, and so they produced it. Thank you so much.
Excuse me.
That,
I thought it was very coincidental. This is a little brochure that they were distributing at the Smith Grove Free Will Baptist Church for the Dunn District. And their vision statement that I referred to in my presentation, let me read it to you. A conference, vision statement, a conference that's recapturing the past, embracing and empowering the present as we strive to impact the surrounding community. I thought that was very apropos to what we were doing. And I cited that in the presentation, and it dovetailed well.
yes.
All right, anything else? Okay.
So our next meeting is next Tuesday, October 8th, and that is an absentee meeting at 5 o'clock. Every week.
Every week until the election. Tuesdays with Claire.
Need a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Madam
Second,
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None. All right. We are adjourned at 6:13.